Hey everyone, welcome to the stage. So, woo! All right. Um, Hello. Thank you for coming to my recorded comedy set. Sit back, relax, drink you some popcorn and a Bloody Mary, and do the things. So recently, I watched a Chris Tucker set from the '80s, I believe, based on the style, and like I we all tell jokes, never planning on them to age well. And he made some very topical jokes at the time about a black president, which a lot of black comedians did during his time. And the person I was watching it with, we both just sat there like a fucking funeral procession, just like, this too shall pass. And really, like, Chris Tucker's great. Like, the jokes that were more timeless and more relatable to throughout generations, those jokes went fine. But it's like, even the jokes that didn't age well, it's like our reactions to them were funny. Like, we were so dumb back then. Society was such an infant back then. I'm so glad we've grown and matured. So I'm wondering, with this whole thing with Roe v. Wade, and now the Supreme Court, one of the Supreme Court members has said they're going to review like interracial marriage and shit. Like, everything that wasn't codified is basically going to be reviewed. And I am wondering when people are going to stop having sex with men. And I know this seems very, I don't know, maybe it's like an unrealistic expectation, but it's like, I mean, the point has been made pretty clear that men are out to get people. So maybe you should stop being vulnerable with them. Like, having sex with them. I don't know. I've never had sex before. To me, it just seems like a very vulnerable thing to do. So maybe stop being vulnerable with predators. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion from somebody who's never done it before. And I saw a tweet that said, delete your period tracker app. For the long list of reasons that is buying and selling information and all that. Information that now with Roe v. Wade being overturned, a lot of privacy rights have been over. Like, it's not just about Roe v. Wade, it's also about Planned Parenthood versus Casey, or Cassie, or however it's pronounced, which was like a huge chunk of HIPAA. And the tweet said, delete your period tracker app and your dating app. Buy a hamachi and just wait it out. Fascism in Italy lasted 10 years. Moving right along. So, I don't know if any of you heard about this, but Chris Rock, the one who got slapped on international television, was at George Floyd Square a few weeks ago. And he was totally disrespectful, snubbed some of our high-profile community members, and of course, in all of George Floyd Square graciousness, one of the community members heard that he was there and yelled as loud as they could, "You mean the nigga that got slapped by Will Smith?" And that, I love black people. Maybe not all black people. We're definitely not a monolith, but like, those black people, they're on the good list. They're on Santa's good list. And for the sake of balancing, Spike Lee was also at George Floyd Square. You definitely heard about that. Spike Lee was amazing and awesome. Wish I had been there. Didn't know he was coming, but that's great. I hope he comes back. So the Supreme Court, I think in one state, has ruled that private religious organizations or like private religious run schools can now accept federal money. And the Supreme Court has overturned the ruling about teachers being able to lead prayer, which means now teachers can lead prayer in class. So I'm wondering, like, is it just teachers, or like, is this gonna start like redefining what it means to be a teacher? Because if I become a pastor, which is too easy to do, and like, let's start blurring, just go ahead and blur all the lines, like pastor now means teacher. I get to be a pastor, and I get to come in and I get to give my sermon from the Temple of Satan. Just saying. Or Church of Satan. Whatever Satan, really. We're just going to do it up. With Supreme Court basically taking down everything that wasn't codified, we're about to find out that a lot of things that we thought were basic aren't codified. Like interracial marriage, pretty much everything that didn't happen, like most things happened during like Gen X millennial time, but things like interracial marriage, like those things are old. Sodomy laws are old. Like same-sex marriage happened during our era, and that's one of the few big things that happened. But like a lot of this old shit that we just thought were rights, like it would totally make sense to codify that shit. That shit's about to be gone. So bringing back segregation, I stand by what I said. I am all about black people living in gated communities and white people needing to be stopped, patted down, and ID'd before being able to enter, guarded by black militias. I said what I said. Did you celebrate the 4th of July, and why? After Roe v. Wade got overturned and we were warned that some other shit's about to get reviewed, and we know reviewed means overturned. What independence? Let me explain. White male independence is what you explained. Those people who like did the Boston Tea Party shit, those people. Back when destruction of property meant something, I guess, because now it's all about, what about property? Like, fuck you, destruction of property built this country, but yeah, let's just fuck all that, right? So like, I celebrated Christian Small's birthday. Christian Smalls, the person leading the unionization of Amazon, the big dog. And also something else happened. Emancipation Day was on the 3rd, not to be confused with Juneteenth. Juneteenth and Emancipation Day are two different things. And I don't feel like I need to celebrate imperialism, especially while I'm still living under it. But the same can be said for a lot of countries. And speaking of which, it's weird how people have internalized a hatred of Valentine's Day. Like, even so much so that there was a self-made after Valentine's Day thing of like all candy on sales day. First of all, that doesn't happen anymore. Capitalism sweeps Valentine's Day even before it's over. They're sweeping it. Like, there basically is no more candy going on sales day. They go right into fucking Easter now. And it's weird how there can be such an internalized hatred of Valentine's Day when Saint Valentine was a real person. Not just one person, but Saint Valentine was like, there were like 3 Saint Valentines, and all of them wanted you to be happy. But you don't have that same energy behind the imperialism of the 4th of July? Like, where in imperialism doesn't want you to be happy? Think about it. And that's my time. Thank you so much for coming. Free Palestine. Go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday. Bye.